one.
Hi, this is Jacob Allen. This is EDL 856 Mod 14, the case study. What do we know in this situation? Mrs. Rose is a new assistant principal. There's limited parent interaction at her school currently. There's no PTA or PTO. There have been past parent groups before. The current principal is unenthusiastic because of the past failures of the parent groups. He also reports that he has had parent contact and they don't want involvement. And this was through parent phone calls and then just reading a vibe from the parent-teacher conferences. So this principal, Mrs. Rose, wanted to go and make some parent groups. Principal was unenthusiastic about it. And then come a little bit later, the principal flipped his decision, but the stipulation was no PTO or PTA could be created. Then on Friday night, a note was distributed to students for a parent meeting on the following Monday at 7:30 about a parent involvement meeting was the discussion about what it was. And then on that Monday, the night of the meeting, only 8 parents ended up showing up. And then the principal was not in favor of carrying on that meeting. So the things I need to know are these. What other ways besides parent calls and conferences has the principal contacted parents? It seems as though he's had limited interaction himself. Another question I want to know is how were the PTO or PTA run before? Maybe they were running efficiently. What were the guidelines? Why did those fail? Next one, why did the principal decide to have a change of heart in the situation about letting parent involvement happen all of a sudden? What facilities besides the auditorium can be used for any parent involvement activities? What sort of funding is possible in the parent involvement? What allotment do they have in the school budget? Was the parent letter the only means of communication for this meeting that happened, where only 8 parents showed up? And then finally, what is the makeup of this community? What I saw as one of the main problems was we're working for a principal that doesn't want to try parent involvement again because in the past he got burnt by his attempts at parent interaction. The parent involvement is low, and the principal doesn't ever think that will change. So we've got somebody that's stuck in their mindset. And then another main problem is that after one try, there was low turnout at the parent meeting. Try again. It's one meeting, so that is one of our problems, that sure, there was low turnout. So my solutions and steps. Step 1, I want to convince the principal to let me hold the meeting with the 8 parents because he initially said that he wasn't on board with it. I don't want to step on the principal's toes in case he just says absolutely no way. But I think he'd let you at least carry on with the way we're going to do the meeting. We're going to take a survey on the parents and ask them why they think parent involvement is low. Just kind of get a general feeling. What could we change that's going on? And then finally, we're going to let these parents lay groundwork to improve involvement. These are going to be our initial stakeholders or plan makers for the newly coming parent involvement. Hopefully they have a good sense of the community and they know the kind of things that we'll need to do to get parents involved. Step 2, seems like communication's pretty poor at this school. We're going to use a new weekly newsletter updated on school events that gets sent home through email or in a physical copy if that is what's more fitting for this neighborhood. We're going to create a strong social media presence again so people outside the school can see what's going on, whether that's parents or community. We're going to collect contact information yearly just to make sure we have a solid way to contact parents or guardians in my school. And then finally, we're going to use an automatic phone calling system to send out mass messages if we need to. Step 3, the last step of the phase, we're going to use that parent involvement survey to create events that are related to their answers and things those parents think fit their neighborhood and what people in their neighborhood would show up for. We're going to take a look at how parent-teacher conferences are being held currently or in the past and what has driven attendance and where did we lose parents in previous and why do parents have this negative outlook when the principal was getting a feel for what had been going on. And then finally, we're going to start We're going to start promoting and broadcasting the events that are already taking place and trying to get people into our school for the cool events our principal has probably already gotten going. And hopefully the communication will also contribute to that. So category 3, holding the meeting will show the parents that we value them. We don't want to turn off more parents to our school, because if we go and tell those parents we're not going to do the meeting, sorry, I don't value your time that you showed up here, that's just going to be a slap in the face to them. We got to get those parents to believe in the school, and in turn, that will get their child to believe in the school. If the parent believes in the school, the child will believe in the school. Nextly, better communication will get better involvement in all the events from students and parents. Poor communication strategies, from the limited knowledge I have, were previously being used. But the more they know, the more they'll be involved, because they'll know what's going on. And then finally, getting parents into the school, make them proud of their school community, and only harbor more excitement in the school involvement. Parents don't know the school because they haven't been to the school, according to the principal, in the situation of low parent involvement. You got to get people excited about our school. Okay, category 4, as I was reading through this, my initial feelings were, I was just thinking the principal seemed apathetic, and that's honestly kind of common in education, not necessarily from principals, but people in general. He had me feeling a little peeved that so many people in education just give up and try the easy route. And then one of the most dangerous mindsets, and this is kind of where this seems at, is this is the way we've always done it. One of the most dangerous phrases in education. And then next, the feeling I had was, I can value that the assistant principal did want to make a change. She's new, she's fresh, she wants to make that change. I'm sure when I get into it, I'll feel the same way and maybe get shot down like she did as well. And then my other feeling was that it's not uncommon for these initial meetings of programs to have low turnout. I've been in a number of groups, and sometimes that first meeting is a little tough because you get your feelings hurt because you only have a couple people show up when you had grand plans, but you got to stick with it and get the program up and really running. And then a couple unresolved issues that I thought from the problem. I want to know if the principal would allow for the meeting to go on, because that, for my own strategy, was step 1, and if that doesn't go on, that might wreck my whole thing. Another unresolved issue is I want to know what happened in the past that has this principal really discouraged, and maybe he can share with me some of the downfalls of what's happened in the past. Nextly, I would also like to know if the attendance is bad for sporting events or music concerts, if they hold those types of things. I want to know if people are not coming to the school at all. If we do know that people are coming at least into those, we have other strategies we could use of posting things around the school and talking to parents at games and things. But again, that was kind of an unresolved issue that we didn't know about and wasn't sure on. Category 5, when parents care, their students will care. Getting the parents involved will academically help their students. At times, teachers can't reach students on caring about grades when parents can get them, being their students, to put in better effort. Reevaluating those parent-teacher conferences that I was talking about should help increase parent knowledge of their grades of their students. Sometimes it just takes a parent disciplining their student to get those grades going. And then lastly, if students are proud of the school, they're going to want to make a good impression grade-wise. You're going to do better for someplace you're proud of. Component number 2, again, caring about students' parents shows that you value their entire family, including the student. Carrying on the meeting will start this. Nextly, having a social media platform will allow for the students to get celebrated online and appreciated to the whole community, which will also boost their self-esteem. And then lastly, getting parents to come to school to see what their students do will increase their personal well-being as well. I know when my parents came to things, that made me happier competing in events and seeing them there. Nextly, component 3, by letting the parents lay the groundwork for community involvement, the community of involvement will start, letting them have a say, and then more parents will probably hear, hey, did you hear this group got to kind of give their opinion? Why don't you go and share what you think? And then having better communication in general will allow for community involvement, opportunity to get involved, the social media, online. And then lastly, making events a bigger deal will get people involved. When they see events, they will want to get involved. They have to be there in order to want to get involved. So just getting in that building, making sure our past events were being broadcasted and promoted. Thank you for watching.